I'm Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop, and today we are dusting off all our quilt supplies to make this fun, classic, and vintage block. It might be advanced, but I know you can do it. Download the free Kansas Dust Storm block at Fat Quarter Shop. There's a link in the description box, so it'll take you directly to it. Now, if you want to turn this block into a quilt, we have a low price PDF to make a table runner, lap, twin, or queen, and all of the fabric requirements are listed on page 1. Now let's talk about what's needed to make this block, because today's tutorial is going to be on the block assembly. The pink is your first print, the rouge is your second print, the blue is your third print, this is your background print, and this collection is called Muse. It's by 3 sisters from Moda Fabrics, and just so you know, we've never done a technique like this where we create a circle within a block without curved piecing, so this should be exciting. You'll notice that the block has 4 square and a square blocks, and if you want to go a little bit faster, you can use the 4-inch square and a square foundation paper to make this. Now, I'm going to teach you the traditional way so you don't have to buy this. This is just a tip for you. And these little units right here are using this template. It's not a ruler, so you don't have to purchase anything. It is on page 3 of your free pattern. After you have your pattern, your 4 quilt fabrics, and your notions, let's jump into block assembly. So before we start, I did want to show you the order we're going to go in. Our first step is to make our Kansas units, which are your corner units. Our second step is going to be doing square and a square. And the third step is going to be these half rectangle units, and they look super hard, but I'm going to simplify them for you. And your fourth step is going to be putting this all together. We're going to start with our Kansas corner unit. This is super simple. You're going to take a fabric C rectangle, a fabric I square. You're going to sew these together with a 1/4-inch seam and press open. Once you have that done, you're going to add a fabric B rectangle to the top. You're going to sew with a 1/4-inch seam, and this is what your unit is going to look like. It's pretty important here to make sure this measures 5.5 inches square so that your block corner is really square. Then you're going to take a fabric A square, draw a line on the wrong side. You can use any marking tool. I prefer the friction fine liner. And this is going to disappear with heat later. So then you want to make sure you're on the corner with the rouge, and you want to place this right on the corner. I'm going to place 3 pins. I'm going to stitch directly on the line. Now some people will go a little bit to the left, but I stitch directly on that line. Then I'm going to trim a 1/4 inch away and press. And here is what your unit is going to look like. You're going to make 4 of these, and everything is pressed open, and this is how it looks. And I did want to point out that ideally when you stitch here, you should have a nice point here. Now if one of your points is off, it's okay, but in general that's how it should look. Now we're going to move to page 2, and we are going to make square and a square units. And like I said earlier, you can use this foundation paper, and if you do that, you're going to follow the cutting that is on the inside cover. I'm going to show you the traditional way. That is going to be a fabric H square and 4 fabric D squares with lines on the wrong side from corner to corner. Then what I like to do is do 2 opposing corners first. Now here, this is optional if you pin. Because of the way that I sew, well, first of all, if I was sewing, I would use this paper. But if I was doing the traditional way, I would still add 3 pins. Stitch directly on that line, trim a 1/4 inch away, and this time you're going to press towards your rouge fabric. Then you're going to do the same thing on the last 2 corners. Stitch, trim, press. And this is how your square and a square unit should look. Now, we wrote this for you to press out towards the rouge. Now, if I was sewing this and using the paper, it will press towards one side. If I was doing the traditional method, I personally would press open. Now we're going to move to our rectangle units. You're going to take a fabric E and a fabric G strip. You're going to sew these with a 1/4 inch seam and press open. You're going to make 2 of these. Now I'm going to give you a tip, and I do this every now and then. I don't always do it, but if you alternate your salvages on each end, when you sew this together, you're going to get something that's a little bit straighter, and you're going to be pressing open. You're going to use one of your strips for your left half rectangle unit, and then you're going to use your other strip for your right half rectangle unit. So before we subcut all of our strip sets, we're going to go to page 3, and here is your half rectangle template. And what we want to do is subcut this, and I'm using this Caterpillar Glow mat. It has 3 lights, so I like to go to the brightest light. So before you cut your template, you want to make sure that this square is a 1-inch square. If it's not, go back to your printer and print this page and select print to scale, because this has to be the exact size for this to work. So I printed this on a cardstock paper. You don't have to do that, but just something a little bit thicker is going to help you. And I'm going to just cut this out first, just randomly. And of course, if you cut it wrong, you can print as many of these as you want. So I'm just going to get that bulk out of there first. Then I'm going to cut directly on that line. And when you cut this, you want it to be 1.5 by 2.5 inches. So that's what it should be. You're going to be using these lines for the left and the right. We're going to start by making our left half rectangle units. So you're going to lay your strip set with the rouge on the top and the blue on the bottom, and the light makes it look a little funny, but this is right side up. You're going to find the line on the ruler that says left. That line needs to go right here on your seam. The red has to be on the top and the blue has to be on the bottom for this to work. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit weird. I'm going to gently cut this out because I think it's just a little bit easier to come back and subcut without this entire strip set. So I'm going to place a ruler right on top of this, and I'm going to cut 2 sides. And actually here, if you want to cheat, you can just do 1.5 by 2.5, and that way you won't be cutting into your template, because you are going to be using your template 8 times. So that is how your template looks. I'm going to go ahead and cut the remaining pieces. Here are your 4 left half rectangle units, and the beauty of this is if you make a mistake, you have a little bit left over so you can recut. Now we're going to move to the right half rectangle unit. We're going to do the same thing, the rouge on top. This time, we're just going to be using the right line. So these are your right half rectangle units, and you're going to make 4. So now you're going to take a left unit and a right unit, and you want the blues to touch. You're going to pin at the left and the top. You're going to sew with a 1/4 inch seam, and then you're going to press. And this is what your unit should look like. You should have a nice point right here, and you will end up with 4 storm units. Now you're going to take your storm unit with the blue at the bottom and your square and a square at the top, and we're going to put these together. And the beauty of this template is it's created this 1/4 inch seam that's going to interact right here with this seam. So you'll pin both ends, and then you're going to use the Kimberly polka pin method. Put your pin right in that point. Come down here, put your pin in that point, make it straight, remove the pin, place it back, sew with a 1/4 inch seam, and your 1/4 inch will be right here. And you're going to make 4 of these. These are going to be your storm units. And this is the hardest part of the quilt right here. And once this is done, it's kind of smooth sailing. So now we can put together our Kansas dust storm block. But what I wanted to point out is if you're working with a floral, you could fussy cut the fabric F. And with this fabric, you could do some of them with the mum and some of them with these small flowers, or you can do them all the same. These are 2 options you can use with this block and this fabric. You're going to put that fabric F in the center. Then you're going to add your storm units with the blues touching. And then you're going to add your Kansas unit. And then you're going to put your background touching the center. And anytime I'm laying out a block, I think about that. And look at this beautiful star. Then you're going to sew with a 1/4 inch seam, pin at these intersections, press. Add the next row, press. And then you're going to do your final 2 seams, and I'm going to show you your block. And here's your beautiful Kansas Dust Storm block. You've got the beautiful circle, you have the star, and you even have this outside design. I would say this is an advanced block, but if you take it step by step and you use your pins, you're going to have a nice, beautiful block. This block is 14.5 inches square, unfinished. So I wanted to show you the quilt once it's all quilted. This one is the lap size, that's 64 inches by 78. It's a 4 by 5 layout. And again, here, you just want to make sure you're pinning when you put these together. We put a background on the outside because these blocks are really busy, and if you do a background on a border, it really stops the design and moves your eye inward. We put a rouge on the binding and a beautiful pink on our backing. Now that the dust has settled, you can take your block and turn it into a quilt using our low-priced PDF. What size are you most interested in making? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.